We stood in silence as the pair made their way around us, heading down the hall in the opposite direction from which they'd been trying to move me. "All they had to do was identify themselves," I said. "Yeah, Leo, I know. You're famous for being the kind of guy who comes along quietly." He heaved a sigh. "Come on up to the office for a few minutes, will you? We need to talk." I checked my watch. 5 minutes to 10. "I've got a meeting at 10. "I know," he said, turning away. "That's why we need to talk." I followed him up the carpeted stairs to the mezzanine and then around to the security office. Security consisted of 2 rooms. The first was filled with a U-shaped bank of TV monitors which nearly covered the room from floor to ceiling, maybe a dozen in all. The cameras covering the entrances were left on all the time. The others, which monitored selective areas of the hotel, could be used on demand. Another kid in a blue blazer stared at the screens as we entered the room. He had a wide mouth, large liquid eyes, and absolutely no neck. His blue and red striped tie seemed to be pulled tight just beneath his ears. He looked like Stimpy. He started to open his mouth, but closed it with a click when he saw me. Marty paused to speak. "Call Frank Cooney," he said. "Tell him we need him down here for the week." "Frank's off this week, Mr. Conlon. He and the missus are gonna—" Marty cut him off. "Tell him it's an emergency." He threw me a glance. "Tell him Lance had an accident and is going to be laid up for a while." Stimpy still hadn't moved. A mouth breather. I pictured him red with a blue nose and inwardly smiled. "Call him," Conlon bellowed. As the kid dove for the phone, Conlon pushed his hands deep into his pockets and kicked open the door at the back of the room. I followed him through, into his office. Marty made his way around to the backside of the polished oak table that served as his desk and wearily plopped himself down into his black leather chair. "Have a seat," he said. I stood in the center of the room and checked my watch. 2 minutes to. "I have an appointment upstairs," I said. "Room 1600. "If you say so." The smile evaporated. "What is it with you, Leo? Always the hard guy, always making a pain in the ass of yourself." "Color me with a crabby crayon, Marty, but I don't like being strong-armed by amateurs. You know what I mean? It's not good for my image. So either get to the point or I'll be on my way." He quickly stood and pointed a manicured finger at me. "Listen, Leo, I don't have to let you in here at all. You know that, don't you? This is private property. I can have you removed. You'll need a lot better help." A film fell over his eyes. "The corporation won't pay for it," he blurted. "By the time I get 'em house-trained, they're out of here. The suits just don't get it. You can make as much in a friggin' Burger King as they pay these kids. All they do is bust my ass about the high turnover." I gestured at the well-appointed office with its plush carpet, gilded mirror, real wood paneling, and awesome collection of framed photographs and certificates. "Beats the hell out of a squad room," I offered. "Some days," he said. "Other days—" I seemed to have found a sore spot. "They're bouncers with Brill cream," he lamented. I was tempted to point out that it was more likely Moose and that the Brill cream reference seriously dated him, but this didn't seem like the best time. I settled for, "I guess that's how come you're making the big bucks, Marty," an utterance which earned me only a short, porcine snort. He rolled his eyes toward the ceiling and pointed at the wall behind me. I knew what it was, but I craned my neck anyway. There, lovingly framed and mounted on the wall, was the infamous UPI photograph of the 10 lousy seconds which, much to my chagrin, seemed destined to serve as my solitary contribution to local popular culture. Marty was rolling. "And here I am spilling my guts to the bozo whose actions constitute the single most embarrassing moment in the history of this chain of 49 hotels. How's that?" he demanded of the ceiling. In the photo, I stood up to my knees in the fountain at the hotel's main entrance, my hair flopped down over my right eye and plastered to my head, my pants seriously sagging. That was bad enough. It was, however, the 2 nearly naked hookers to whom all